Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and I want to help you decide which Apple Watch is right for you. Now, this is the current offering from Apple new right now. So if you were to go to an Apple store or go to apple.com, these are the three options you can buy right now as far as the series of watches. You may be able to find others available elsewhere, but these are the only ones currently sold new from Apple. And so what we have is the Series 3 Apple Watch. This is in the 42mm size. Then we have the Apple Watch SE. This is the newer SE in the 40mm size. And then we have the Apple Watch Series 6 in 44mm and in product red, one of the new colors. And so let's talk about what the offerings are for each one, price, and then talk about how they compare with one another. So we'll start with the Series 3 Apple Watch, and Apple only offers this in a couple different variants now. So for example, they offer it in aluminum with space gray and aluminum. That's it as far as the colors. And then also they offer it for $199 for 38mm or $229 for 42mm. And they offer it with the Ion X glass, which this is, and it does scratch. So once the display turns off here, you can see the scratches at the top. This was accidentally brushed against a brick wall when walking down the street, and unfortunately it scratched it. So it does scratch fairly easy. Now it is cheaper, and it does not come in the other variants when it was new that they offered, such as stainless steel or any of the others. You can only get it in aluminum now, and you can only get it with Wi-Fi. There is no cellular available for this particular model. Now, the Apple Watch SE is available in a couple different variants. For example, $279 for the 40mm or $309 for the 44mm. If you want to add cellular, add an additional $30. And there's a new family setup within the iPhone app that you can allow your child to have an Apple Watch paired to your phone directly. And so if we go to the iPhone, you'll see here is my watches. If I go to all watches in the upper left, you'll see the three watches that are currently paired. And you can add additional watches, but you will need a cellular watch in order to add it. So that means your option is the SE or the Series 6. And that is what you can get to add a child. And then you can use this on a monthly plan to set up different things. Now you can't do that with a Series 3. Now this is available in aluminum, and it's also available in gold, silver, and space gray. This is the space gray with the product red band, but you can change out any band you want with it. So you get the idea. It's basically a very similar watch to what we have with the Series 6. We'll talk about a couple other differences in just a moment. Now with the Series 6 Apple Watch, you've got a couple different options now. Since this is the latest, you have $399 for a 40mm, or this is the larger, $429 for 44mm. And then again, if you want to add GPS and cellular, add an additional $30, plus you'll have to have a monthly plan. Now the thing with the Series 6, as you can see, it's in red. It also comes in blue, gold, silver, and space gray, and aluminum, stainless steel, and titanium. And you can go all the way up to $1,499 for a 44mm Hermes model. And so you can go from this edition to the titanium edition, which I'm actually wearing right now. That's my main Apple Watch. And so that's the difference between the watches themselves as far as the options. But there are a lot of options with Series 6. For example, if you get the aluminum, you've got Ion X glass. If you get the stainless steel or titanium, you've got sapphire crystal, which doesn't scratch very easily. It's not super high quality sapphire, but in the years of owning different sapphire versions of the Apple Watch, I've never had a scratch on it. With the Ion X glass, I will get scratches on them from time to time if you don't use a screen protector. So that's something to keep in mind. They also have other colors such as space black and graphite as well, depending on if you have titanium or stainless steel. This is the space black titanium. So there's all of those additions. On top of that, there's also a Nike edition, which just has a couple different watch faces. So you have all of those different versions as far as size and price. So you can start at $199 and go all the way up to $1,499. Now, when it comes to the displays, this is a huge differentiating factor between all of them. In fact, you can see on the Series 3 that I'm holding now that it's edge to edge, but it's squared off. On the SE and the Series 6, it's actually rounded. And you can see that it's a little bit bigger on the 44 millimeter. And so you've got that very big difference. Also, the SE and the Series 6 are quite a bit brighter. They actually share the same displays, but the Series 6 has an always-on display. So if I tilt my wrist on my titanium Series 6, you'll see if I tilt it off to the side, give it a moment, it sort of goes to sleep, but it's still on. It's always on. So you have that option with the Series 6. You don't get that with the SE or the Series 3. So those are the differences in the displays. And then also the Series 6 and SE are a little bit brighter. So they're easier to see out in sunlight. Now, as far as the physical part of the watches, you can see the Series 3 watch has a little bit different look to it. So if I hold it next to the Series 6, you'll see there's slight differences. The button sizes are slightly different, and you don't see a huge difference until you look at the left side, where there's the speakers on the Series 6 in the right with the product red edition are very different. And then also the sensors are very different on the bottom. So you can see the sensor differences, and the differences on the sensors are different between the SE as well. So let me flip this one over here. So the Series 6, being the latest, has the latest features. It has a blood oxygen app as well as ECG. So it will actually check your blood oxygen level. So you can go into the watch and then you go to blood oxygen. We'll go up to the top here. We can go to blood oxygen, and you can rest your wrist down and it will check it throughout the day. So if I hit start, it counts down from 15 seconds and then checks my blood oxygen level. And you can see my blood oxygen level is 97%. Now you also get the ECG option depending on where you live. It actually has to be approved by your local government, but you have ECG. And again, you set your wrist down, put your finger on the digital crown, and then wait 30 seconds for it to give you a reading of your ECG. And you'll see it's finishing up, and it says sinus rhythm, which is the normal rhythm that you want, in 85 beats per minute. And so it will measure that. It will let you know throughout the day whether or not it senses an arrhythmia. It will let you know if you have high and low heart rate. Now the SE and the Series 3 with their sensors do not get that monitoring of ECG and blood oxygen level. So they are different sensors, as you can see here, very different from left to right. Series 3, SE in the middle, and Series 6 on the right. And they all have ceramic backs to keep them a little bit more durable, and the SE and the Series 6 are a little bit different in that they are even more durable due to the bottom of the watch. And so Series 3 and SE don't have that, but they do have up to 50-meter water resistance. They also have high and low heart rate notifications, as well as irregular heart rate or heart rhythm notifications. And Series 3, as you can see, has a different sensor. This is the first gen sensor, optical heart sensor. SE has the second gen, and the Series 6 has the third gen. So it's not a huge deal, but it does make a difference based on what you want your watch to do and what health features you're looking for. Now they all have an altimeter built into them to tell you altitude, but the Series 6 will let you know in real time what the altitude is. You can find this in the Compass app. If you go onto your Series 6, you've got the Compass app, and it will tell you in real time as well what your incline is, what your elevation is, and it just lets you know and records that into the Health app securely if you want to know that. Now, there's a couple things that the Series 6 and SE have that the Series 3 do not. The Series 3 does not have an always-on altimeter. It also doesn't have emergency fall detection in the Series 3. So maybe you're wearing your watch, you accidentally slip and fall, maybe on ice or on a slippery surface. The Series 3 can't detect that, but it can detect all the other things I've mentioned already. They also all have emergency SOS, but the Series 3 doesn't have the ability to call internationally, for example. Why that is, I'm not sure, because it's paired back to your watch, but if you need to use SOS, which can be sent by pressing and holding the power button, just keep pressing, you'll see emergency SOS, and then you can send that if you need help. It won't call internationally though, so you don't get that with the Series 3. Also, Series 3 doesn't have the compass I showed earlier, and also, Series 3 has a first-generation speaker and microphone, so they're just not as good overall. And you lose one thing with the Series 3, and that's haptic feedback with the digital crown. As you're scrolling around and doing different things with the Series 6 or the SE, you'll actually feel as you scroll up and down through menus, it's kind of giving a little click and letting you know what's going on. So it's more of a haptic feedback, and if you're visually impaired, this could be really helpful. So that's what all of these have. Now, as far as wireless, there's some slight differences with the wireless connectivity as well between all of them. So for example, the Series 3 has Wi-Fi 802.11bgn and 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth 4.2. That's pretty similar in the SE, which also has Wi-Fi 802.11bgn, 2.4 gigahertz, but Bluetooth 5.0. But they've updated it a little bit in the Series 6, where it has 802.11bgn, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and Bluetooth 5.0. So you've got all of those things. Now, when you're using these day to day, there's going to be a little bit of a difference because the Series 3 has the slowest processor. So it has the dual core S3 chip. So for example, if I go into the app switcher, we'll do the same on, say, the Series 6, and let's try and open an application and see how long it takes. So maybe we'll go to, let's find just the calculator. I haven't opened them on either. So let's find the calculator here. And there's the calculator. Let's go ahead and open it on both. And you'll see on the Series 6, it opens almost immediately. On the Series 3, it's only 1 or 2 seconds slower. So we'll go back out and let's try another one. So maybe we'll open the workout app. So we'll go down to workouts and let's open workout. So we'll tap on workout and you'll see that time they opened similarly fast. So it really depends on what you're doing, but as you use it throughout the day, you will notice a slight difference depending on the task that you're trying to accomplish. Of course, you have a lot more features on the Series 6, and the SE is very fast as well. So for example, let's open the workout app and you'll see it opens right up. If I go back out, again, let's open the compass. That'll take a second since it hasn't been open. And there we go. So it's pretty fast, but not as fast as the Series 6. So they're both very quick in most tasks, but the Series 6 is noticeably faster. It's also more power efficient. So over the day's use, you should get a little bit more battery out of the Series 6 Apple Watch. So my Series 6, for example, let me swipe up, is at 75% after taking this off the charger at about 8 or 9 a.m. this morning, and it's 5 p.m. already, and I'm still at 75%. Now, if I was using this for a workout throughout the day, that's going to deplete a little bit faster. But in general, I find that I go to bed with about 50% of my battery life left. It will get me through about 2 days. Now, one thing with the Series 3 that you still get the benefit of is all of the watch bands. So even if you want one of the newest watch bands, they're available for this watch. So this is just the sport band that comes with it. We'll remove it here, and we can use the brand new Sport Loop or any of the larger ones if it's for the larger watch, or smaller bands for the smaller watches of past. So if you have a huge band collection, you can use them with any of them. So this is a brand new Sport Loop elastic band. You can use this with the 38mm or the 40mm Series 3 or older, or even the newest 44mm Series 6. So they're all compatible as long as it's the matching larger or smaller size. So you've got that option as well, which is always nice. Now, finally, with watchOS 7, we got a bunch of new features, but the Series 3 watch doesn't get a bunch of the watch faces. So we've got a lot of similar apps, but if we press and hold, we'll swipe over here and add a new watch face. Now you can see all of the watch faces we have with the Series 3. So you've got some of the new ones, such as the new art one, for example. But as we scroll through, you'll see that most of these are what we've had for a few years on the Series 3. So not a whole lot that's different here. There's a few that are new, but not a ton. If we go over to the SE or Series 3, for example, press and hold and go over, tap on new, we have a much larger selection. So we've got California, Chronograph Pro, we've got Count Up. You'll see as we go through GMT, just a bunch of extra ones that we don't have on the other watch. So you will get those additional watch faces with those additional features, and you'll see I'm still going. There we go. And so you'll get all of those extra watch faces, and what you'll get is updates for a longer time over the years. So currently we're at watchOS 7. I would expect the Series 3, at least since they're still selling it, to be supported for a couple more years. But with the SE and the Series 6, for example, I would expect that to be supported for many years. Since Apple supports their software for many years, I would expect at least 3 to 5 years at this point until we have a major update and they release maybe a Series 10 Apple Watch or a Series 11 Apple Watch. So at this point, I personally would not go near a Series 3 unless you got a tremendous deal on it. I would opt for an SE or a Series 6, or maybe if you can find a used Series 5 and you don't care about the blood oxygen monitoring in this particular one, then maybe go that route. But I really would say get an SE or a Series 6 with the latest software on it and all of the latest updates. So hopefully that helped you decide which one is right for you and which one you should pick up. Let me know in the comments below if you plan to pick up any of these, and if so, which one. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.